watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
And thank you for joining us for DC News Now at 5. I'm Mark Hall.
And good evening. I'm Annalisa Gale. Well, right now, developing Arlington County Police are investigating a Halloween night triple shooting. The victims include 3 teen boys.
2 of the boys are in critical condition at a local hospital. It happened around just before 11 last night along Columbia Pike near Taylor Street.
That's where we find DC News Now's Randy Bass joining us now. Randy, what's the area like this evening?
Yeah, hey there. Police moved here from the scene about 90 minutes ago, but they were here through most of the day today. I'm going to show you now what it looks like now. Very different how it looked about 20 hours ago when this shooting first happened. Police, though, on scene today, canvassing the area, taking photos, laying down evidence markers, trying to piece together the moments that led up to this shooting that injured 3 teenage boys and damaged several cars here in the parking lot. But neighbors we talked to here today were still very shaken up the day after everything happened. Halloween night shooting, sending 3 teenage boys to the hospital just hours after trick-or-treaters came through this block of Columbia Pike.
I was nervous. I was scared. It's frightening. We usually don't have that type of incident in this neighborhood, especially on this street.
Neighbor Paula Edmonds didn't want to go on camera, but she's lived along Taylor Street for 20 years and hasn't seen violence like this in the decades she's lived here. 2 of the boys who were shot still in critical condition at a local hospital. People living in the apartment complex above the crime scene still shaken up this morning after seeing the aftermath of the shooting.
We ran to my window, we looked out, we saw someone running over in those apartments over there. And then we came down to the lobby and everybody was it was hectic. Everybody was running around. People were screaming and running and doing laps around the lobby.
All of this happening in a typically quiet corner of Arlington, but neighbors tell us last night's violence could be part of a trend.
We had a shooting about 3 weeks ago too, but no one got hurt. But I did hear that it's not typical for the area, so I'm not really concerned.
Multiple neighbors told DC News Now about the shots fired incident weeks earlier on October 11th. But Arlington police say they went out to this block for a report of possible shots fired that day and found no evidence of a shooting. Police now tell us they're investigating any possible connection between the 2 incidents. Police are also still searching for answers tonight in this Halloween night shooting that injured those 3 teenage boys. Anybody with any information at all is urged to get in touch with detectives. In Arlington, I'm Randy Bass, DC News Now.
Randy, thank you. And a double shooting in Southeast DC on Halloween night also left a woman and a teenager injured just before midnight. Police say both victims were shot on 22nd Street near Southern Avenue. They're both expected to recover. No word on a suspect. A live look outside the Washington Monument. Happy Friday to all. You know what? Not a bad day.
Yeah, switching gears now. Heading over to meteorologist Damon Matson with a check on the forecast. Damon, on this Friday, much more fall-like weather coming in.
Yeah, we're going to slowly get there as we head into the night, no doubt. Thinking back to last night on Halloween, I saw a lot of people out there. The shorts, snow jackets needed. But today, well, we felt sort of the same warmth. But now it's these breezy winds that we've had throughout much of the afternoon. It's going to be dropping those temperatures soon enough. We still are pretty breezy out there. Wind speeds up to around 15 to 20 miles an hour, including through the district, up I-270 toward Frederick. Now, there's another factor to this. Unfortunately, the cold front that swept through this morning brought these winds in behind it. Well, it did not produce a lot of rainfall, so our extended dry stretch has not ended, and with how excessively dry it is and the fact that we have those breezy winds, we still have a red flag warning that goes for another hour across the northern half of the DMV. But even across some of our southern counties not in the red flag warning, you still just want to take caution. The threat of rapid wildfire spread is out there until we can get some rain or calm those winds down. Now, luckily, we do lose the wind aspect of this as we go into the overnight hours soon enough here, 7, 8 o'clock. It will start to turn calm, but that is right when temperatures really start to tumble as we go from the upper 70s where we are right now quickly into the upper 60s by 8 p.m. and we are far from done dropping those temperatures tonight. So we'll talk about how chilly it could be coming up throughout the entire weekend and look at your full forecast here in just a bit.
All right, Damon, thank you. Developing at 5 in the district. Police say that a woman was carjacked, washing her car, dragging her in the street. It happened on Wednesday on 28th Street in Southeast around 3:30 in the afternoon. The woman says that she was washing her Mercedes when the suspect got into the car and started to drive off. That's when the door closed on her and on her arm and dragged her until she was able to break free. Police are now looking for a suspect.
Well, right now, the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics says almost half of small businesses fail in the first 5 years. Fairfax County is fueling small businesses in a big way right now, helping entrepreneurs achieve their dreams. Meantime, DC News Now's Haley Milon is showing us how entrepreneurs are getting a helping hand in the county program.
How can I take the broccoli, the cauliflower, the kale, the Brussels sprouts, and make it taste good?
Good question, but these smiling customers are a testament that Joyce Boyk cracked the code with her juices. Her company, Loisy May's Kitchen, pays homage to her late mother.
She was an amazing cook, so I know that you can have healthy things that taste good.
Her blends, veggies dressed up as refreshing drinks, are a hit at farmers markets. With a green thumb and a talent for taste, she does it all. Almost.
The program has just been phenomenal for me.
Joyce is one of the Fairfax County Thrive Program entrepreneurs.
Working with the website, they had someone take pictures. I was just so impressed.
It's not uncommon for small businesses to not necessarily be experts in all varying aspects of doing business.
Jamie Gachet of the Department of Economic Initiatives says that small businesses employ almost half of the workers in the county.
Helping them realize that dream or helping them become more successful, that's really what we do here.
Entrepreneurs are matched with a business coach who guides them towards consultants to help with everything from financial planning to cybersecurity, giving participants up to $20,000 in assistance. For Joyce, the next step is getting in a commercial kitchen so she can grow her business. And with Thrive's help, she's well on her way to making her community healthier with her juices.
I can help people, and that excites me.
Haley Milon, DC News Now.
Haley, thank you. Meantime, with 4 days to go now until Election Day, Maryland's Attorney General is demanding that a D.C. nonprofit stop sending some letters described as a form of intimidation. Now, the letters are from the Center for Voting Information. They're threatening to publicly expose registered voters who do not vote in this year's election. Now, Attorney General Anthony Brown says his office received several complaints about letters labeled voting report cards. They lay out the recipient's voting history since 2016. Brown issued a cease and desist order against a nonprofit. He's demanding they refrain from sending threatening letters in the future and agree to not follow through on threats to embarrass non-voters by publishing information to their neighbors. It is against Maryland law to try to influence a voter's decision using force, fraud, or intimidation. And right now, the nonprofit known as the Voters Group is actually pushing back at the Attorney General's cease and desist order. They are now defending the letter, saying there is nothing in the content that constitutes a violation of Maryland or federal law.
And the letter goes into more details, which DC News Now's Max Marcillo will explain in a full report. That's coming up on DC News Now at 9 p.m.
All right, well, as we get closer to Election Day next week, organizations in Frederick County are making it simple for residents to vote. DC News Now Skylar Salas looks at how you can get to your precinct.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Now, if you are trying to make sure that you and your family have transportation to the polls on Tuesday, Frederick County Transit and other local organizations got you covered by providing free rides to polling places around the county.
Thanks to a partnership with the Frederick County Transit Department, United Way of Frederick County, and the Safe Ride Foundation, financially struggling families will be able to get to the polls even if they live outside transit routes. Those who need a ride must complete a form through United Way by noon on Monday to secure their transportation for Election Day Tuesday. Frederick County Transit says this partnership hopes to break any barriers people might have to keep them from voting.
Don't use the lack of transportation as a reason to not go out and vote. So that was the reason we, kind of established all these resources in a kind of under one umbrella. So if people, it's an easy resource for people to figure out how to get to their polling location. So our hope is people use these resources to go out and vote.
The city of Frederick will also be providing transportation for those who need it on Election Day. Reporting in Frederick County, Maryland, Skylar Salas, DC News Now.
Skylar, thank you. Just another reminder for times and deadlines to cast your ballot on Tuesday's election in Virginia. You can vote early until Saturday on Election Day. Polls will be open from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. Voters in the district can vote early until Sunday. On Election Day, you can cast your ballot between 7 a.m. and 8 p.m. And early voting over in Maryland, but you can vote at the polls from 7 a.m. until 8 p.m. on Election Day.
And when we're not on the air, you can keep tabs on all things election related by going to our website right now, dcnewsnow.com, and search for that voter guide. Well, we aren't the only ones enjoying this beautiful fall weather. Take a look at this new video of Bao Li and Qing Bao at the National Zoo. Bao Li had the attack of the zoomies, true to his energetic name, and tested out this hammock there, while Qing Bao reached new heights while exploring the trees there. The giant pandas will make their grand debut January 24th.
And still ahead on the news at 5 with